Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And everybody on the West Coast, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And everybody else in between this great big beautiful country of ours, how the hell you doing? What do you know? What do you say? What's up? What's happening? Oh my gosh. Cat's driving me crazy here. Once her belly rubbed. Ugh. I almost didn't make it, folks. I have a treadmill, a manual treadmill. So you regular people on the radio, you know all about it. Well, I try to walk like every other day on it. And the sensor broke. And I was fiddling with it, and the wire came off, so I ended up having to bring it down here, tear it all apart, and resolder the wire back on, and took it back upstairs, and trying to get it lined up just right, so you know it'll gauge my time and distance correctly. And it was so touchy that even moving it like a centimeter, it wouldn't register. And I was like, this is crazy. Well, I had another gauge that I had originally. So I went and decided that, well, the hell with this shit. I'm going to go ahead and just change the whole main gauge instead of, because I fixed the sensor and see how that works. And whammo, everything came together. So this new, the gauge that was on there must have something wrong with it. But I'm happy, man. I'm happy now. I'm like, should I do the show today, man? Maybe I should just go walk. I want to try it. I want to try it out now. I'll tell you one thing. From all the testing that I did, I must have walked a mile today anyway. So, and one-legged mile too. You got one leg on the floor, one leg on the treadmill, and you're pushing the belt with your foot. It's manual. It ain't, I hate electric. Hate it. You know why? Because it pulls you along. You don't do any work. Anybody can walk. Just walk down the street. Well, it ain't no big deal. Do something where you're going to have to move your buttocks and your legs and your thighs and your knees and your ankles and put some resistance to that shit. I mean, sure, yeah, you could, put ankle weights on and walk down the street. That's probably about the same. Put like a 2.5 pound ankle weight on each leg and walk. See how far you could, yeah, that's it. See how far you could walk then. All right? Because that's probably just about the same thing as pushing on a manual treadmill. And I mean, it doesn't stick or anything. It's smooth. It's smooth, but you got to get that thing going, man. You slow down, it slows down. So you got to keep putting forth the effort to keep the damn thing going. So I adjusted the volume yesterday before yesterday's show, and I didn't get a chance to check it. So I'm hoping it's not too loud. Here's something else that's going on. Let me go here. I just saw it, caught a glimpse of it. See if I can change it while we're doing this. Configure the video. Darken. Let's darken this. A little dark. Okay. You notice I got a boo-boo on my nose. Scratching autofocus. Yeah, okay, so maybe that's good. Let's click OK and see how that goes. What else is new? Oh, so they're going to debate today, I guess. The Senate on the voting rights bill. This is terrible. What's happening to this country is terrible. I don't know. I'm asking you a question. You got all these radical right people doing all this crazy shit. Are there any Democrats I don't, they were saying Antifa, whatever the hell. Okay? No. Those were peaceful people with instigators. Did you notice how it stopped? And they say, oh yeah, well, once they started convicting these people, well, they should have been convicting them all along. It should have never taken all these demonstrations to get the courts and people to do the right thing. So that's one good thing that has changed. These police officers, and there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good police officers that do a lot of volunteer work and help everything. But then you got them bad weeds in there. When I was in the Marine Corps, drill instructor said there's always that 10%. There's always a 10% of some group that's going to fuck it up. Excuse my language, it's not a kid's show, you know that. 10%. 10%. So, yeah. And I guess the Izzy, the snowstorm, has finally passed the entire country. For me, around here, I put on Twitter. No, I don't think anybody responded to it. But do you think that the storm Izzy was overhyped, or is it just because it was such a big storm? Because around here, we were supposed to get like a foot of snow, and I can look out there now, and we're lucky if we got like maybe 5 inches, 6 inches, maybe. So it's, other places probably got pounded, but not around here. But they were making a big thing about it. Oh, man, people making the run on the shit paper and the paper towels and the, what else? Milk. It's insane. What, here's what I'm worried about. Next couple days, it's going to almost zero, or like negative 17 degrees Celsius. So, oh boy, what's going on here? Do one of these. Smile. See, yeah. Okay, there we go. No. And anyway, yeah, it's a quiet day. I know you people getting bored over there on the radio. I apologize. Let's get to work instead of having me bullshit. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and debate this thing. I don't know whether I got to turn this on. Okay, do some Twitter news real quick while this is loading up. Okay. Megan, not Megan. Megan, not Megan. Whatever. How have we come to the point where the entire GOP, Kristen Sinema and Senator Joe Manchin, have chosen to vote against the people of the United States of America? Never did I expect to see half of our representatives become traitors to democracy. It's sickening and devastating. It's true. It is absolutely true. Okay, Nathalie Jacoby says, raise your hand if you think Beto O'Rourke would be a much better governor in Texas. Yes. Coco says, I feel like I try hard every day to be a better person. Well, if you feel that way, then you are. because she is consciously recognizing and trying to be a better person. So I don't know who somebody told her she wasn't. That's not cool. The Vracarian, whatever, says, great attitude. We should all strive to be better people every day. Political Thinker says, that's all we can do. You're a good person, Coco. It's clear to see. And then you get these. What the hell does this mean? Apache Woman 0 says 3 ways per DIA. Oh, wait a minute. Apache Woman 0, my per diem is 0. 0? I don't know what that means. Why did she put that in there? That Apache Woman. What? Amy Lynn, hey, boy, I haven't seen her in a while. Good morning to everyone who knows JFK Jr. JFK Jr. won't be Trump's running mate in 2024. Those people are effing crazy. All right, Crumb Munchers, Rugwreck, put them for a nap, get them out of the room. Xbox, PlayStation, should be in school. If they're homeschooled, get them out in another room. They don't need to be hearing me. Put your headphones on. You don't, so they can't hear. Put one on, one off, so you can hear them and hear me at the same time. That way you can, if you want to scream and bitch at them, you can do that. So, finally got my oxygen adjusted. Now watch. Yeah, the power will go out again. Every time the power goes out, it takes me days to get it working again. Adjusted just right so I can breathe. I was having trouble. Here's the other thing. Upstairs on my laptop, it's a Dell. I had to rebuild it. And now what it's doing with Firefox, the screen every once in a while will go completely white. And I looked everywhere on the settings on Firefox that now you know how the GIFs, them little GIFs, clips, snippets of people saying things or doing something or acting goofy. Well, you put that on Twitter or whatever to show how you feel. The damn things go black. It won't, like, you click on it to play a movie, same thing. It goes completely black. So I have no clue what's going on. Yeah, man. So all these people sent me a return. I got a group of people I say good morning to every day. I probably said that 1,000 times. You're ready, people getting bored. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Wait, okay, here we go. Oh, boy. Minnesota COVID-19 patient flown to Texas after judge orders doctors to keep him on ventilator. This was from The Hill. January 17th, 2022, a Minnesota COVID patient who was flown to a medical facility in Texas over the weekend after a judge ordered doctors to keep him on a ventilator, the Star Tribune reported. Scott Quinner, 55, was placed on a ventilator at Mercy Hospital in Coon Rapids on November 6 while experiencing critically low oxygen levels and has shown a few signs of improvement in the ensuing weeks, according to the Star Tribune. The hospital informed Quinner's family that it would disconnect the ventilator on Thursday, prompting his wife Ann to seek an emergency order from the Anoka County Court to stop the disconnection and move her husband to a new facility. Judge Jennifer Stanfield, that's why it's Mangled News, folks. What the hell is that thing? Stanfield, blah, 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 ruled in favor of the Quinner family's request to keep him on a ventilator. Scott Quinner's attorney, Marjorie Holson, told the Star Tribune her client was flown over the weekend from Mercy Hospital in Coon Rapids to a medical facility in Texas, which she did not name. Okay, so if you want to read the rest of that, Scott is now in a hospital in Texas getting critical care, Holston said. Okay, I don't know how much more you can read on that. Other than maybe the family took a fart or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's thehill.com, January 17th, 2022 was yesterday. So hopefully he's still kicking, huh? Okay, this guy was from Buffalo. Buffalo man with COVID transported out of Mercy Hospital after judges ordered to keep patient on ventilator in Minnesota. Forbes, 2 days ago. Here we go with the Russians. There's no way, okay, yep, Forbes, 2 days ago, January 6th, 7 a.m. Why didn't I get this sooner? Oh, you didn't have it sooner. Okay, fuck it. There's no way Vladimir Putin could freeze Europe, and no way the U.S. could freeze Putin. Well, it's frickin' freezing out there now, buddy. There's no accounting for the final destination of any good. This is a statement of the obvious that sadly remains elusive inside a commentariat that haughtily thinks everything is obvious. Did you follow that? I have no freaking clue. The latest evidence of reason eluding the deep in thought concerns Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, his massing of 100,000 Russian troops at Ukraine's border, has the op-ed crowd spilling lots of ink about what to do, what could be done, and what Putin could potentially do in response to what could or theoretically should be done. That's true. Think about that. They're wasting a lot of ink trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen, or what the response can be, what people can do. Man, this thing on my boo-boo is fucking looking bad. Supposedly, one way for the free world to stop Putin from taking Ukraine would be for the U.S. and other economically prominent nations to cut off Russia from the global banking system. It all sounds so simple. Take away Russian access to hard currency, only for Putin to slow order Russian troops to retreat from the country's long border with Ukraine. Except that there's no reasonable way for the U.S. or anyone else to cut Russia off from global finance. That's the case because the U.S. dollar and other credible global currencies bring new meaning to fungible, as does finance itself. And I'm just totally lost with this, other than they're wasting their time trying to figure out what Putin's going to do. So if you want to read this totally confusing freaking article, there's no way Vladimir Putin could freeze Europe and no way the U.S. could freeze Putin. Forbes.com, January 16th. Good luck. And here's an ad right dead in the center. Are you abandoning Trump and the Republicans? Yes or no? Paid for by the NRSC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates. Committee, nrsc.org. I don't know. National Republican Selection Committee or some damn shit? I don't know what the hell it is. American Military News, here we go. This was 17th yesterday. Navy should be offended by maintenance, manpower failures, Admiral says. The U.S. Navy must complete its warships' maintenance and return to sea quicker, and it should be offended by the delays and short staffing that contribute to those delays, according to the commander of U.S. Fleet Force Command. Defense News reported last week that Admiral Daryl Caudill, the commander of the U.S. Fleet Forces Command, called out the slow maintenance timeline and manning issues the Navy has become accustomed to with its surface warfare fleet over the years. We need to be offended by not having the right manning, Cottle said. We need to be offended by not getting ships out at the right time. It needs to be palatable. Palatable. That word. And not just like, okay, and just kind of kick the can down the road. Cottle said he wants a bigger budget for more warships, but warned that the Navy can't continue to grow its fleet with its existing pool of warship crew members. That's damn right. We can't just go build a bunch of ships and not fill them with the right equipment and the right number of people, he said. Bingo. Some U.S. warships have been so affected by manpower shortages in recent years that some sailors have had to put in 100-hour work weeks at times to keep their ships running. Such manpower shortages can have deadly consequences. The USS Fitzgerald and the USS John McCain were both involved in fatal collisions at sea, resulting in 17 deaths between the two collisions. The undermanning of those ships and the subsequent overworking of the crews are believed to have contributed to the fatal collisions. Yeah, that's something I haven't seen in a long time, and I bet you they're going to start popping up left and right here, especially with this Putin shit. And that's Army and Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and all that advertisements to join. We need you. I haven't seen one for frickin' ever. And it's frickin' cold again here. I can't. I'm telling you, we're going to have to do something with this heat, man. It's not frickin'. Oh, well. Jax persists. She's back. Okay, Mr. Butters is replying to Jax persists. What did she do? Senator Rand Paul, DirecTV is canceling OANN, so I just canceled my home. DirecTV, why give money to people who hate us? Yes, we do hate you. Boy, DirecTV doesn't give a Kentucky Fried fuck about you. You aren't that important. The business decision was made that more people would leave if they renewed OAN's contract in April than would leave if they dropped it. Ain't free market capitalism grand? Mr. Butter says Rand Paul did himself a favor because DirecTV is effing trash anyway. Jax persists. Says, yes, it's trash, but he is lying to manufacture fake outrage over a common practice in free market capitalism. Money rules the world, and they made a decision based on what would lose less money. One would think champions for free market capitalism would understand how it works. Oh, good. Does Dish have that? OANN? I really don't think Xfinity does. I don't know. Any of you guys know, leave me an email. admin@monvalleyradio.com. We'll get to the bottom of this, by God. Okay, WTF. You know what that stands for. That's her name. WTF 64. Who cares? I need my cation. I may come back and I may not. And she says, like yesterday. Walter Spangle says, just found out my eldest daughter has COVID. She is a school teacher in largely unvaccinated county, so I have been expecting it. Damn it. Kate says, Laura Ingram clapped when she heard General Mark Milley got COVID-19 because she's an ignorant beast who doesn't deserve the freedoms real patriots fought for her to have. Wow. That's terrible. See how, man. See, oh man, there's a lot of hate going on in this world. I know. Okay, Mark Cassidy replied to this. The average length of marriage is 8 years. Where are you at? And Mark Cassidy said, I'm still at 0. How about you? Mark, you better get going. You better get married. Oh, my gosh. What else? I'm going to just flip-flop back and forth because I just don't give a damn. Here's from the... Why is this... No, I'll read the headline. You figure it out. This is from the Atlantic. The voting rights victory Democrats aren't celebrating. January 18th, 2022, 5 a.m. That's this morning. The progressive law in the nation's largest city seems to be a step too far for national Democrats. Yeah, last week was a momentous one for voting rights in America, and not just because of President Joe Biden's urgent and unsuccessful plea for Congress to pass legislation protecting access to the ballot. More than 800,000 people in New York City gained the right to vote with the enactment of a new law allowing legal non-citizens to participate in municipal elections. The law represents one of the biggest single expansions of voting rights in recent years, as well as an enormous victory for immigrants in the nation's largest city. But Americans didn't hear about it in Biden's speech in Atlanta, nor would they know about it from listening to congressional Democratic leaders who have championed both the party's election overhaul and liberal treatment of immigrants. Indeed, few prominent Democrats seem interested in discussing New York City's law at all. Over the past 2 weeks, I asked a range of party leaders, members of the city's congressional delegation, the chairs of the Congressional Hispanic, Black, and Asian American and Pacific Islander caucuses, the White House, to weigh in on the law and whether immigrant voting rights should be a topic of national debate. Hardly any would agree or officially make time in their busy schedules to speak on the issue. Although Representative Hakeem Jeffries of Brooklyn, the fourth-ranking House Democrat and a potential future speaker, has publicly backed the measure, other well-known New York Democrats, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, have said nothing about it. The new law represents one of the starkest recent examples of a bifurcated... Where do they come up with these frickin' words? Of the bifurcated policies on voting and immigration that have emanated from the states and cities in the absence of action on each issue by Congress. Now, wait a minute. Okay, we read this, okay? If you want to read more about this, it's the voting rights victory Democrats aren't celebrating. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you people. As far as this English, I know English. I know British, okay? The problem is, and people say, oh, he's so dumb. He don't know that word. You know what? I'm not a freaking English major, folks. I'm an average Joe like you. I'm half college educated. I haven't run into that word before, and it's the same way with names. I want to hear you say, if you're so smart, all these Polish and Russian names, and Chinese names, and Japanese names, and all this other shit, before you contradict somebody or say anything about, oh, he didn't know that word. Well, guess what? As soon as I get off here, I'm going to add that to my vocabulary. Because I'm going to look it up and see what it means. I'm not a dumbass. Why'd I go off like that? Because it bothers me. And I had a good day. Hope you did too. Hey, we're losing it right here, folks. Okay, my time's up. I had a real good time. Okay, so, hey, you be careful, be safe, don't get that Rona, and watch out what you're doing. I'm going to say goodbye to these people, and I'm going to say goodbye to you, okay? So let's just do that shit. All right? Oh, my goodness, what a day, what a day, what a day.
He's gonna screw it up. Chops.
Have a good day. Oh, there you are. I see you people. Bye, bye, bye.